BCTV and WB&H thank our underwriters. Primary Bank, New Hampshire's bank for business, with branches in Bedford, Manchester, Nashua, and Derry. PrimaryBankNH.com. Delta Dental, providing easy access to quality dental coverage for every smile, from your younger years to your golden years, with the nation's largest provider network. The Wicks Insurance Group, serving New Hampshire and the Bedford community with auto, home, life, and business insurance since 1984. TheWicksInsuranceGroup.com. Interim Healthcare of Manchester, personalizing healthcare to meet your unique health needs. InterimHealthcare.com. Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, your local brokerage boutique. Relationships built on trust. MrsNelsonsNeighborhood.com. Murphy's Tap Room and Carriage House Event Center, where meals turn into moments and conversations last a little longer. Murphy'sTapRoom.com.
Cam Hadley to Finn LaMarche. Now O'Toole skating in, fires and scores! O'Toole!
And they can't get it to go. Dak clears the defensive rebound finally. Elsmore dishes. O'Rourke there for the put-in.
Danny Fink. And he dribbles to the bucket. So got up and good. Passway waiting. Now puts it on Casson. Rebound scores. Ruby caught. Potential 2-on-1. Here's O'Toole with Vitro. O'Toole fires a shot and scores! Messiah. Dribbling. Cut. Has the ball stolen away. O'Connell's just going to burn the clock. Bedford win. Good evening and welcome to Bedford High Gymnasium on this Tuesday. We've got a big contest here. Two top Division I girls programs taking each other on. The Londonderry Lancers come in at 5-0. Bedford Bulldogs also at 5-0. I'm Larry Kozlowski. Mike Kopp is here with me. Mike, this is a game of two really talented teams that have been going at it for years.
Yeah, I mean, Harry, last March, we did the championship. These two teams were there. We knew they were going to be the two best teams in New Hampshire. I've been looking forward to this for 9 months. This is going to be a great game. This is round one. They play again in February, and then I assume they'll see each other sometime in the playoffs.
We can only hope. We had a chance to speak with Coach Kevin Gibbs earlier today. Here's what he had to say.
We are speaking with girls basketball coach Kevin Gibbs. His team is 4-0 in New Hampshire. However, they did drop a close one to Bishop Feion on Saturday. But they're going to put that all behind them as they face off against the Londonderry Lancers, who themselves were able to defeat Bishop Feion of Attleboro, Mass. Coach, this is the first we've chatted this year. Catch us up on what the season's been like so far.
Well, as with every year, Harry, the season's been a little different. We graduated Kate Allard, who's playing down at Boston University now. And we had some injuries in the offseason that have affected our rotations a bit. But the group of kids that we have are very resilient, and it allows us to change up our style of play a little bit. And we really haven't missed a beat. You mentioned that Bishop Feion game. First time we've lost in a few years. But it was a very, very well-played game, a defensive battle.
Yeah, one-point game.
Although we only lost by one, a good game like that is exactly why we're playing out-of-state teams. I mean, we played in the Christmas tournament. We played Medfield. We played Sacred Heart out of Connecticut. We played Burlington out of Vermont. For the regular season games that count, Bishop Feion, and we have Wachusett coming back up. Or I shouldn't say coming back up, coming up for the first time. We've played there a couple of times now. The intent is obviously to play as strong a schedule as possible, so that the kids will be ready for the postseason. We did not expect to be going into this season without Ella Allard and Bella Landis. And then right after the first game, we lost. I shouldn't say we lost. Mel McCarthy sustained a minor injury in a practice, and we've been very careful about how we're bringing her back. So she hasn't played since then. We hope to have her back very soon. We just got in a new brace that will really alleviate some of the discomfort that she was having. So because of those absences, we've gone to some different players and a different style that we might not have gone to, and it's been with some really good results. We have found some really nice pieces coming in off the bench. And I had stated right from the get-go this season that as far as we were concerned, we had 6 starters. So with one of them out, we go with the other 5 starters. And between Annie and Eva Zink, Sarah Muir, Grace Wolf, and Juliet Laws, we have a very solid group of kids who can score the ball, can defend, can press, can run. And we're in a good place. This game with Londonderry is going to be another good in-state test, a good in-state battle, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, Londonderry also undefeated. You know, they've always had a good program, and they've always been a big rival of yours. And it's going to be another big game on Tuesday. Coach, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Definitely. Thanks for covering the game.
Coach Kevin Gibbs of the Bulldogs. Before the action begins, we want to quickly thank our underwriters, and they include Primary Bank, Northeast Delta Dental, DeWick's Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and Murphy's Tap Room and Carriage House Event Center. Teams are at center court. Tip-off begins. Lancers come up with the ball. Sullivan gets tied up. It's going to be a jump ball. And we're not sure how this is going to go. It's going to be Bedford's ball because I guess they said Londonderry won the tip. Ball is inbounded. Bulldogs, Zink dribbling, top of the key, looks to get an outlet pass, finds Juliet Laws, who's been filling in for Mel McCarthy, who's been injured for a while. Pass inside to Laws, lays it up and in. Bedford up early, 2-0.
You mentioned McCarthy. She's on the bench. She's dressed for the first time in weeks, so that's a good sign for them. I don't know.
She's wearing a brace on the leg. Coach mentioned that.
I don't know if she'll play, but she's definitely on the way back to recovery, which is good to see.
Lancers with the ball. Almost an over and back there, but they keep it in bounds. Pass inside gets knocked down by the Bulldogs. Here they are in transition. Eva Zink tried to get it back to Annie. Off target, turnover Bedford.
You know, Bedford, they're going to want to run on Londonderry. That's what they do. They got, you know, with Laws filling in, they got 4 really quick guards. And then Eva Zink, who's not a guard, but almost as fast as anyone on the court. So they're going to try to run as much as they can.
Here's Gemma Murray. Gets the ball off to Brooke Ekrit, driving to the bucket, puts up a desperation underhand layup. We get the whistle here. I'm going to say the Bulldog player stepped on the end line, so possession stays with the Lancers. Ekrit to inbound. Finds Samantha Sullivan.
Watch them try to get Sullivan off. I mean, she's their leading scorer.
Shot was off the mark. Rebound. Lancers get it back. Ekrit, top of the key, changes direction, kicks it out to DeNovo. She drives and that's blocked. Eva Zink, who now is passed up in transition, dribbles it off her knee and turns it over, but that was a fantastic sequence there. The big block by Zink, and then she goes down to get the bucket. Unfortunately, the pass came a little bit late. Went off her leg, and it's a turnover on the Bulldogs. So the score remains 2-0, 6:20 to go here in the first quarter. Gemma Murray here loses the ball, and they're going to give it to Londonderry. They're going to say a Bulldog touched it. It's unfortunate that one of the Bulldog players didn't go for the ball. I think they thought it went off Murray's hands. So Ekrit's going to inbound. Gets it to Samantha Sullivan. She is the leading scorer, averages 21.2 points per game, and another block by Juliet Laws. Possession stays with the Lancers. Ekrit inbounding again below the basket. Gets it out to Brooke Wilson. Now here's Gemma Murray driving to the bucket. Off the glass too strong. And Laws gets the rebound for the Bulldogs. Here they come. Laws. Tough one there for Sarah Muir. She's wearing a protective mask. Eva Zink to Annie. To Sarah Muir. She runs into a Londonderry player, loses the ball, no foul. Now Londonderry coming back the other way, and they missed the layup right there. That was Sullivan. Lancers yet to get on the scoreboard here. Bedford attacks again. Annie Zink, she's going to try for three. It's blocked. And Sarah Muir gets the rebound. Muir pass inside to DeNovo, off the glass and in. Lancers finally on the board. Bedford quickly in transition. Annie Zink to Eva Zink. Dribbles. Finds Muir in the corner. He's going to try a three and gets it.
You see how Bedford, they work the ball around. You mentioned earlier, Bedford's a lot more deep. Londonderry's got three girls that score most of their points. Bedford moves the ball around, and you see it in the offense, right?
Yeah.
They pass the ball around to everyone. Everyone touches the ball.
Londonderry scoring is concentrated on three players here. Now here's a wide open key, and Sullivan rushes the layup and misses. So the leading scorer for the Lancers right there, having trouble finding the bucket. Here are the Bulldogs. This is going to be Muir for another three, and she gets it. And the Lancers are going to call a timeout as the Bulldogs have a 6-2 lead.
Yep. As I said, Londonderry, they've got the three scorers. You got Sammy Sullivan, who she's committed to Bryant. I think probably going to be player of the year. You got Gemma Murray, also a first-team All-State last year.
Sullivan averaging 21.2, Gemma Murray 13.4 points per game, and then
Brooke Eckred is the third. They have three girls. They score a lot, but teams can focus because, as we see, other girls can score, but when you're not getting the ball a lot, it's a lot harder in a game, to perform when you're not getting the ball a lot. So you see how Bedford is just smothering Murray and Sullivan, and so far it's working.
Even when she had an opening there, I think she felt like something was going to happen, and she rushed that layup and missed what should have been an easy two-pointer right there. So yeah, even the threat of pressure sometimes will impact play. Play resumes as the Lancers inbound. Gemma Murray being watched closely by Annie Zink. Murray tries to underhand. It's partially blocked once again. Bulldog steps on the end line. That was Grace Wolf. A couple times that's happened to the Bulldogs here, where they've turned the ball over, stepping on the end line. So Lancers keep the control here. Ball's inbound to Sullivan. Tried to get it away from her. She goes to the bucket. Blocked again. A little bit of a scrum on the floor. And the jump ball this time goes to the Lancers. So the Bulldogs are blocking a lot of shots, but they're also turning the ball over quite a bit. Here's Ekrit, three-pointer, off the mark, picked up by Muir. She sends it up to Zink. Now Annie Zink drives in, and they're going to call. They calling a foul here?
It looks like a foul on Wilson.
So our first foul of the game could be on Brooke Wilson. Bedford inbounds. Annie Zink to Eva Zink. Drives, kicks it back out to Annie on the far side. Annie dribbles to the elbow. Puts up a two-pointer. That's a little bit short. Lancers come up with the rebound. Gemma Murray drives to the bucket. She will be fouled and gets the bucket. So an opportunity. They're going to call offensive here.
Offensive foul.
So Gemma Murray with a quick foul there. Two team fouls now on the Lancers. And score remains 8-2 with 3:30 to go here in the first quarter. Annie Zink to Muir. Annie Zink for three, and she gets it.
And we mentioned how everyone in the Bedford starting lineup, Grace Wolf, Laws, the two Zinks, Muir can score. They've got six other girls on the bench that can score as well. So
Sullivan with the shot, puts it up too strong. Here comes Laws in transition, and she's going to be fouled, I think.
No.
They didn't blow a whistle.
They called the block. They said it was off Sullivan.
There seemed to be like a pause. I was like, everybody's waiting for that foul whistle to come, and it never did come. Bulldogs inbound to Eva Zink, and the Bedford Bulldogs reset here on offense. Grace Wolf to Annie Zink. There's Sarah Muir. Baseline. This one definitely is a foul, as Brooke Ekred had her arm around Muir's neck. So it's going to be another foul on the Lancers. That's 3 team fouls. Bedford inbounds. Here's Annie Zink for 3, and she gets it. And a long lead pass for number 1, Allison DeNovo. She couldn't reach it, goes out of bounds. Coach Gibbs speaking to the official about something here.
And Londonderry wants a timeout.
Bulldogs are red hot here. They have hit, I believe, 4 threes in a row. Which is,
that's not their game usually. That's more Londonderry's game. They can hit the threes. So the fact that we're hitting the threes, getting out in transition is great. As I said, Londonderry, they live by the 3. That's how they kill teams, and they just haven't gotten a 3.
Well, the Lancers have been collecting fouls. They've got 3 team fouls so far with 2:38 to go here in the first quarter. Our next broadcast coming up this Friday at 7 p.m. We're going to be showcasing the boys once again as they host the Exeter Bluehawks. That'll be here on Friday. Game time, it says here 7:30. Is it 7 or 7:30?
I assume it's 7.
I think it's a 7 o'clock start. Maybe Andrew Fenn can verify that for me, but that'll be, we're definitely doing boys basketball on Friday, so make sure you tune in for that here on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. Timeout is over. Bulldogs inbound. Annie Zink dribbles to the corner. 3, no good. Sullivan gets the rebound with 2:25 to play here in the first. Bulldogs lead by 12. Sullivan changes direction, kicks it out, gets it to Ekred. Ekred tries to drive the lane, instead dishes it, gets it back. Now Gemma Murray, guarded by Laws, and a foul called there on the Bulldogs.
I think they got it for Annie Zink. They got Annie Zink coming over to help defense. Speaking of the boys, I just got an update. Bedford boys are winning 27-23 at half against Winnicunnet at Winnicunnet.
So the first free throw by Gemma Murray is good. By the way, that foul was credited to Sarah Muir, so she's got 1 foul. Now Gemma Murray sinks the second. 14-4. Block shot there. Lancers get the rebound. Sullivan here, dribbling. She loses the ball. She's got to get it away. And it's going to be a jump ball. It goes to Bedford this time. So Sullivan kind of lost her balance, fell on the floor, and she was a bit of a sitting duck, literally.
Yep.
Bedford coming back here with 1:42 to play. Annie Zink trying to get an outlet inside. We get a whistle.
They got Sammy Sullivan.
So Sullivan gets a foul. That's 4 team fouls so far. 1 more will put the Bulldogs into the bonus. Inbound to Eva Zink. Double team. She gets away from that. Gets it to Annie. Annie looks for an outlet. Back to Eva. Picks it out to Juliet Laws. Now Sarah Muir decides to drive, and she's going to get a foul here. I believe that's going to be on number 5, Gemma Murray, her second foul, and that is a 15 foul. That puts Bedford on the line for 2, although that would have been a 2-shot foul anyway, since it was in the act of shooting. So Muir at the foul line misses the first one.
I mean, Londonderry's got to be careful. This happened in the state championship. Sullivan got in foul trouble, and she had to come off of Kate Allard on defense, and that helped Bedford kind of, shut the door on them. So Murray with already 2 fouls, that's not good for them. She's their point guard.
And she's on the bench now. Muir hits the second one. She's got 7 points. 15-4 is the Bedford lead. I took my eye off the play for a moment.
Eva Zink went for the steal, knocked it out. I know the Londonderry coach wanted a foul, thought she came over the top.
Okay. So just an out-of-bounds play here. So 1:13 to play. Lancers cross the timeline. Here's Sullivan. Gets it into Lo Priori. Now Ekrit to Mia Bucco. Some bench players in for the Lancers now. Ekrit, guarded by Zink, tries to drive, bumps into Zink. Bedford doing a good job shutting off the inside. Now Sullivan's going to drive to the bucket. She's going to get it, and a foul. So the foul will be on Juliet Laws, her first. And Sullivan, who finally gets on the board with her first 2 points, will try to add the free throw here.
Claire White came in for Sarah Muir, Bedford. Bedford made their first sub. Junior Claire White is in.
Bulldogs get it to Laws. Laws tries to get to the bucket, and a great vision there to find Grace Wolf all alone. She gets two. 17-7, 10-point lead here with 25 to go in the first quarter. Sullivan tries to drive, pulls out, blocked out of bounds by Laws. Inbound Lancers with 14.4 seconds to work with. Lo Priori will inbound to Sullivan. Sullivan still with it. Now Grace Wolf covers. And are they going to call Grace on contact here? Yes, they will.
Still on the ground, so it's just an inbound.
5.2 seconds to go here. Inbound to Ekrit. She's got to get it off quickly. Shoots, gets her own rebound, puts it up again. No good. And that's how the first quarter will end. Yeah, with the Bulldogs putting on a show, raining threes from everywhere, and they've got a big 10-point lead, 17-7.
Yeah, I mean, really, obviously hitting those clutch threes, but really, what that quarter was defense. Giving up Londonderry, my guess is, if we looked at their numbers, they've never scored 7 points in one quarter. I think they're averaging, close to 60 points a game. So
we'll look that up in just a moment. Quickly, though, we wanted to thank our underwriters for their support of BCTV at Bedford 105.1, our sports coverage here of the Bulldogs. Primary Bank, Northeast Delta Dental, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and Murphy's Tap Room and Carriage House and Event Center. And like you mentioned here, let's quickly look at the score sheet for the Lancers. They've the lowest point output they've had. Actually, two of them, Bishop Feehan, a game that they won was only 41 points. They put up 50 against Bishop Girton, but every other game 65, 64, 62.
And yeah, to your Bishop Feehan, I mean, that's one of the top teams in Mass. They beat Bedford 49-48 the other day.
Right.
So, obviously, a tough competitor in those Mass powerhouses.
Here's the scoring so far. Andy Zink with a pair of threes for 6. Grace Wolf with 2. Sarah Muir, she's got 2 threes plus a free throw with 7. Juliet Laws with 2. Here's Andy Zink. Bulldogs with the inbound. Muir back to Zink. She's going to try the 3 again, a little bit off. And that's going to go out of bounds. We'll get you caught up quickly on the Londonderry scoring. Allison DeNovo with 2. Gemma Murray with 2 free throws. And Samantha Sullivan with 3 points. And Sullivan with the ball. Finally over the timeline, being watched by Eva Zink. Into the corner for Lo Priori. Here's Ekrit. Back over to Bucco. Ekrit with it again. Muir on her. into the corner with Bucco. Tries to drive the lane. Instead, her pass is intercepted by Juliet Laws. And here come the Bulldogs in transition. Into the corner. Muir thinks about the three. Tried to pass it inside the Laws. Goes off her hands. Lancers get the free ball. 7:03 to go in the half. Here come the Lancers. Get the ball knocked out of her hand. Ball still loose. Finally, Laws picks it up. She's got to settle it down. Finally, the Bulldogs do that.
You're seeing the effect of not having Murray, who's now coming in. That's their point guard. She's been out. They've had 2 turnovers, right? So now they're bringing her back in with 2 fouls. My guess is she's going to play a little more passive.
Grace Wolf with it. Annie Zink inside to Eva Zink. She's double teamed, kicks it out to Laws in the corner. She drives the baseline. Jumper no good. Rebound Ekrit. 6:24 to go in the half. Ekrit kicks it out to Wilson. Bucco had, I'm sorry, not Bucco, but Lo Priori had it knocked out of her hands. Ekrit's going to drive the lane. Gets the layup and draws a foul. So that's just the first bucket this quarter for the Lancers. Lo Priori comes out, and as you mentioned, Gemma Murray is back in here. Foul is going to be on Grace Wolf. That's her second. And the and one for Ekrit is good. She's got 3 points. Bulldogs to Muir in the corner, drives the baseline, gets knocked out by Ekrit. 17-10 is your score. Lancers have closed the margin a little bit here. Zink gets it to Muir, gets it to Eva Zink. Now Annie from the 3-point line, she was feeling it before, and on the rebound there, that goes out of bounds. Claire White couldn't control that.
She got good position, just couldn't control it.
So Lancers working their way back into this game. Bulldogs a little bit cold here. Gemma Murray, who's back in the game now with 2 fouls. She's got to be careful. Sullivan drives and gets it. 5 points now for Sullivan for the Lancers. Bulldogs, Juliet Laws too strong. Claire White with the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say off of Claire or off of Laws. So another failed opportunity to score here by the Bulldogs.
Great drive by Laws. She couldn't connect, and then Claire White got a great offensive rebound, but they just couldn't put the ball in the bucket. Mia Catane came in for looks like Claire White.
Murray kicks it out to Ekrit. Now to Brooke Wilson. Her jumper no good. Bulldogs with the rebound. Laws tries to drive. And what do we have, a travel call?
Travel, they call it travel. They said that Laws dragged that foot a little too much.
So Coach Gibbs can't be too happy here. The Bulldogs, after getting up to 17, have not scored. Meanwhile, the Lancers are on a 5-0 run here in this second quarter. Sullivan goes up and she's going to be fouled. I believe that's going to be Eva Zink who gets the call.
Yeah, you could tell Sullivan's getting some confidence, driving. You know, she's trying to get some buckets that way, got into the line.
So Sullivan with 5 points. Her average is 21.2. That first free throw a little bit short off the front of the rim. And we're going to get a timeout here. I believe the Bulldogs calling that. Coach Gibbs trying to get his troops to settle down a little bit and break the scoreless streak. They were red hot in the first quarter, raining threes. Now none of the threes are falling for them. And they're turning the ball over a little more frequently.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's good that they have the confidence to shoot them. You know, I think, you know, obviously, you know, you get hot, then you go cold. You know, it doesn't mean you have to stop shooting. but definitely would be great to get a couple easy layups, get back in the scoring routine, and then that will open up the three-point line.
Confirmation from Andrew Fenn that the boys game against Exeter will be a 7 o'clock tip-off. So be sure to tune in at 7 o'clock here on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. Second free throw here for Samantha Sullivan. That one's too strong. Rims out. Bedford with the rebound. Sarah Muir over the timeline. 4:25 to go here in the half. Laws, nice give and go to Annie Zink, who puts it off the glass and in. She's got 8 points. And Bedford finally breaks the scoreless streak here in the second quarter. Here's Wilson. Back over to Gemma Murray. Tries the three. Too far, but the rebound attempt by Mia Katana, a little too late. She steps on the baseline.
We see Annie Zink, Gemma Murray's guarding her, and you see she's going to the bucket, hopefully thinking she's going to either foul her or play passive defense, and that's what happened there. She had an easy layup.
Here's Sullivan to Murray. Ekrit pulls back for three. That's going to be a little short. Bedford finally comes up with it on the fast break. Muir, she got bumped as she went up to the glass, but no foul call here. Quickly in transition, Sullivan, she also gets a bump, no call, and now finally she's going to get a call as Eva Zink reached in. We'll see what the call is here. It is going to be on Eva Zink. Picks up her second foul. Not a shooting foul, though.
Yeah, I think they had her grabbing her wrist on that rebound.
Looks like the officials are letting a lot of contact go in this game. Inbound to Sullivan. Murray, watched by Muir. Drives, turns around, and they're going to say she traveled. That was kind of an unusual play. It's like she tried to pivot completely the other way, but she had to move her foot to do that. Now Bedford quickly in transition off the hands of Sarah Muir. Didn't have that ball corralled before she started thinking about her next move. Exactly. And that's another turnover on the Bulldogs.
Exactly. She was looking at that baseline. You see on the replay.
Bedford leads 19-12. But the Lancers have outscored the Bulldogs here 7-2 in this quarter. Sullivan tries to work her way in, dribbles it off her foot. Now Lancers commit the turnover. Quick mention of the JV game that happened before this. Bedford dominated the Londonderry JVs 54-17. So congratulations to the JV team for a big win. Here's Laws, too strong off the glass. Rebound by the Lancers, Murray. That's poked away, taken away by the Bulldogs. Kind of a wild layup there by Eva Zink. Goes off one of the Lancer players, number 1, Allison DeNovo. So the Bulldogs will hold on to possession here.
I mean, you talk about the JV, winning by 40. I mean, obviously that it shows that Bedford, that's how they keep getting good. They lose players and they keep rebuilding. And
just keep growing new ones. Here's Katana. Now Eva Zink waits, finds Muir in the corner. Muir drives the baseline off the glass. Not strong enough. Bedford really having trouble finding the bucket here. Only 2 points in this half. This quarter, I should say. The second quarter. 2:21 to go. Sullivan dishes to Ekrit, who tries the three. That's off. Muir with the rebound. She's going to go coast to coast. Puts it up. Not strong enough. But a foul is called here on the Lancers. And it's going to be on number 22, Samantha Sullivan. That's her second foul.
That's not insignificant. You see, the good thing for Bedford is they are getting good looks. They missed a couple layups.
Better hurry, get it in here. Beat the 5-second call. Muir gets it. Now Katana tried to find Zink. Missed her. Lancers take it away. Under 2 to go here in the half. Sullivan dribbles. Stops, gets it over to Murray. Now back to Sullivan, top of the key. Sullivan puts it down, drives, puts up a strong layup. That was tied up, and now what are we going to get here? A foul call on number 11, Katana. Mia Katana getting her first. And they're going to call this a shooting foul. And Brooke Wilson is the free throw shooter. She gets the first one.
And Bedford
that gets her on the board.
Bedford will be, they're in the Londonderry's in the bonus, so any foul for the next minute and 37, they'll get 2 free throws.
Second bucket is good by Wilson. They only show 14 fouls though on the scoreboard.
So the next one's the 5th, so yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Here's Grace Wolf. Close call there. Muir's going to try the 3. That's off the mark. Wolf takes the ball away, but then can't get the layup. And the possession arrow on that jump ball goes to the Lancers. So the Bulldogs really having a problem here today. It's like somebody put the carnival rims up in the second quarter. Nothing dropping for the Bulldogs. Coming up on a minute to go here in the half. Dish out to Loprieri. Tried to pass it inside. Goes off a Bulldog player out of bounds. So inbound play for the Lancers. Murray gets it to Sullivan in the corner. To Wilson. To DeNovo. Tries a 3. And Law is able to box out and get the rebound right there. Bulldogs with possession. Eva Zink. Got to find wild pass there. Luckily, Sarah Muir able to pull that one down. I'm not even sure it was intended for her. Now pass inside again to Eva Zink, and
that's going to
she really forced it in.
That's going to be her 3rd on Zink, who's been guarding Sammy Sullivan all game, doing a great job. But
Claire White's going to come back in the game for Eva Zink. And because that's the 5th foul, this is going to be a shooting foul for Brooke Ekrit, who's got 3 points in the game so far, all in the second quarter. First one good from Ekrit. That gives her 4. And the Lancers are within 4. 1950. Second one good as well. And what started as a bit of a lopsided game, I believe the lead is as much as 12. It's now a 3-point game. And the Bulldogs have been outscored. Trying to make sure I get the math right. 9-2.
Yep.
In this quarter.
To only 2 points. I mean, the one thing, as I said, they're getting a lot of good looks. Londonderry has not gotten one easy bucket. Like, you know, Bedford, they hit 4 threes. Obviously hitting a 3 isn't easy, but they were open. Bedford is not giving Londonderry anything easy. They're working for every single point they get, having to get to the line, drive, contested threes. So hopefully for Bedford, those layups are going to start dropping in the second half, and they can pull away. But
well, they could use a bucket or 2 here just to get that lead back up there. You only lead by 3. Here's White. Annie Zink outside the 3-point circle. Now she drives the baseline, or the key, puts it up, no good. Another miss for the Bulldogs. Lancers with the rebound. 18 seconds to go here in the half. Lancers are going to play for the last shot.
They got Laws on Sullivan. Great defender. Trying to...
Sullivan double teamed, actually triple teamed now. Now she kicks it out to DeNovo for the 3, no good. Out of bounds, and that's where we're going to call things for the half. A big quarter for the Lancers, scoring 9. Bulldogs only scoring 2, and this is a pretty low scoring affair so far. Didn't think it was going to be that way, but We're at 19-16 at the half.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, I thought this was going to be in the 50s, 60s. Still could be. I mean, you see that, as I said, it's Bedford's defense is making it hard on Londonderry, and then Bedford just not, in that second quarter, just not getting shots to fall, having open layups that just aren't converting on, as you mentioned. Looked like there was something on the rim, but overall a close half. I think going into the second half, I think the big things are Ava Zink's in foul trouble, 3 fouls. She's guarding Sammy Sullivan, who gets the ball every time on offense and does something. So we'll see if Coach Gibbs keeps her on her, maybe lets her get that 4th foul, or does something different.
Let's recap the scoring for you right now. The all scorers led by Annie Zink. She was the only scorer in that second quarter for the Bulldogs. She's got 8 points. Grace Wolf with 2. Sarah Muir with 7. Juliet Laws with 2. On the Lancers side, it's Allison DeNovo with 2. Gemma Murray with just 2 points. Brooke Ekrit with 5. Brooke Wilson with 2, both free throws. And Samantha Sullivan, the leading scorer, at least tied with Brooke Ekrit. She's got 5 points. We'll be back with second half action quickly. We're going to thank our underwriters here. We'll be right back with more second half action here. 19-16 is the score here at the half between the Bulldogs and the Lancers. Bulldogs up by 3.
BCTV and WB&H thank our underwriters. Primary Bank, New Hampshire's bank for business, with branches in Bedford, Manchester, Nashua, and Derry. PrimaryBankNH.com. Delta Dental, providing easy access to quality dental coverage for every smile, from your younger years to your golden years, with the nation's largest provider network. The Wicks Insurance Group, serving New Hampshire and the Bedford community with auto, home, life, and business insurance since 1984. TheWicksInsuranceGroup.com. Interim Healthcare of Manchester, personalizing healthcare to meet your unique health needs. InterimHealthcare.com. Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, your local brokerage boutique. Relationships built on trust. MrsNelsonsNeighborhood.com. Murphy's Tap Room and Carriage House Event Center, where meals turn into moments and conversations last a little longer. Murphy'sTapRoom.com.
And welcome back to Bedford High Gym. Second half action about to begin here in about a minute. Pretty low scoring contest, 19-16. This was a score you might expect after one quarter. But that is your halftime score. Bulldogs had a big lead, as much as 12 points in the first. And the Lancers have been steadily chipping away. But it's been a physical game. There have been a lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers. It's a real dogfight.
Yeah, exactly. As I said, both teams playing good defense. Londonderry's not getting anything easy. I mean, all 5 of the starters and the 2 people that come off the bench, both Zink sisters, Sarah Muir, Grace Wolf, Laws, Claire White, Mia Katan, they're playing great defense. And that's the game plan. Don't give them anything easy. That's why Sullivan averages 22. Eckert and Murray in that 12 to 14 range, because they get easy buckets and Bedford's not giving them anything.
So the Bulldogs are now going to go from left to right here as they play toward their bench. And we begin. Andy Zink over the timeline. Dribbles, gets it to Sarah Muir. Muir puts it on the ground. Hands it off to Zink, back to Muir. Gets it inside to Eva Zink, but she couldn't handle it, turned over. Lancers come back. Here's Ekrit.
And as expected, right, Sarah Muir is guarding Sammy Sullivan, not Ava Zink, with her 3 fouls. So we'll see how that pans out. A little smaller. Doesn't have the
trouble. Gets it over to Brooke Wilson. Gemma Murray to Ekrit again. Wilson. Here's the 3-point try from Ekrit, no good. Here with the rebound for Bedford. Waits for Eva Zink to drive to the bucket. Her shot is blocked by Sullivan. Sullivan had that ball lined up the whole way. Sullivan goes, puts it up too hard. Bedford with the rebound. Annie Zink to Muir. She drives, puts it up, and a blocking foul called on the Lancers. It's going to be number 12, Brooke Ekrit, picking up her second foul. And that will put Sarah Muir on the line. She is one of the top scorers for the Bulldogs tonight, just 7 points though. That one hits all the corners of the rim and out. So that lid is still on the Bedford basket here. Muir with another try. That one misses as well. Sullivan gets the rebound. Bulldogs only scoring 2 points since the end of the first quarter. Here's Murray. Sullivan. Ekrit. Wilson inside to Sullivan. Tries to find room. And they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Juliet Laws.
That's what it looks like, and I think she looks confused.
It is going to be Laws with the foul. That's her second. And Sullivan will go to the foul line.
I mean, I think if you told me that for 10 minutes the Bedford only scored 2 points and there's still 3 points, that's a shock. So I think, although they want to put more, I think they're okay that their defense is keeping them in this game.
Sullivan misses the first free throw. Here comes the second. That one connects. 6 points for Sarah Sullivan. 19-17, Bulldogs hanging on to the lead by 2. Here's some room for Muir, but she decides to dish it out to Laws instead. Laws now gets a lane, puts it up too hard. It seems like everybody's just putting those layups too hard, expecting contact. Now Sullivan drives against Zink, loses the handle, kicks it out to Ekrit. Ekrit into the corner for Wilson. Her shot off the mark. Bedford with the rebound, then cornered. Laws was double teamed in that corner. And I guess they're calling it out of bounds off the Lancers. They knocked it out. I don't think it was a timeout called by Coach Gibbs.
I think they got a foul on Brooke Wilson on that one. I think they said she grabbed her arm.
Oh, so Wilson did get her second foul. Thank you. Here's Annie Zink for 3. This one looks like it was blocked, and it's way off the mark. Lancers pick it up. Ekrit driving. Dishes it off to Murray, who missed that layup. Everybody's missing layups. Now in the corner. It's Laws for 3.
That was a great look by Annie Zink. She saw her, kind of looked her off, got it to her for a wide open 3, and Laws put it in.
So Bedford on the board here in the second half. De novo for the Lancers to Ekrit. Ekrit drives. Tries to hit Brooke Wilson off her hands and out of bounds. It'll be Bedford ball. Five minutes to go here in the third quarter. Bulldogs up by 5. 22-17. Laws kicks it out. 3-point try, no good. Murray with the rebound, gets it to Sullivan. Now back to Murray.
Sullivan hasn't touched the ball in a while. I think they're going to try to get it to her.
Here's the 3-point try, air ball. And they're going to say that Grace Wolf did not contact the ball. It looked like she might have been pushed into it. So an air ball 3 out of bounds. Bedford gets the ball back here with 4:34 to go here in the third quarter. Annie Zink to Laws. Eva Zink underneath to Wolf. She gets blocked, but it's off the hands of De Novo and out of bounds, so Bedford will retain possession. Annie Zink will inbound. Gets it to Muir. Annie Zink gets it back. Muir into the corner for Wolf. Gets it knocked out. Going to stay with the Bulldogs. Bedford, the Londonderry coach thinks that she lost it, but it was knocked out by a Lancer player.
He definitely thinks she lost it. Doesn't look like anyone else does, but he definitely does.
And another block shot there on Eva Zink. So the Lancers doing a fabulous job with those blocks.
I think Bedford's plan is just go right at him, right? Try to create some.
It stays Bedford's ball. Quick in and out. Zink dribbles out to the top of the key. Now to Laws. Laws dribbles. Gets inside. Gets the bucket. No foul. Coach Gibbs wanted a foul. She did not get it.
They definitely think they have a mismatch with Laws. They keep getting her the ball. She's driving.
7 points for Laws. Now here's a three. Off the mark. Rebound de novo for Londonderry. Kicks it out to Wilson. Wilson tries and gets it. Brooke Wilson, 5 points with that three-pointer. 24-20. Now Laws drives to the bucket. Now she gets hit. That will be a foul. Laws goes to the line. And it's going to be de novo with her first foul. Juliet Laws, shooting two. First one is off the mark.
Looks like the freshman, Mia Bucko, checking in.
Second attempt by Laws is good. That gives her 8 points. Bulldogs up by 5, 25-20. Murray dribbles. Knocked away by Eva Zink, out of bounds. Ball will stay with the Lancers.
So as time's running out, I think they feel a little more comfortable putting Zink back on Sullivan. She only has 3. Maybe let her get a 4th before they pull her.
Murray inbounds to Sullivan. Sullivan drives the key, now pulls out. Still with the ball, tries to go down the lane again, puts it up too hard. She's been way off with her layups. Pressure really getting to her. Rebound to Grace Wolf. Now Laws is going to try the three, no good. But Eva Zink gets the rebound, she turns around, and she puts it off the mark. Again, they're just rushing these shots. Yep. If they just took a split second to settle themselves, they'd have a much easier time, but they just keep missing these layups.
They're definitely pushing the ball, trying to get to the line or get shots up. A lot of block shots, a lot of balls out of bounds.
Into the corner goes Bucco. Back out to Murray, and here's Ekrit now. Now she pulls out. Muir watching her. Murray almost all the way to the half-court line. Gets it to Ekrit again. Now Wilson, pass to Ekrit. This is a three. No good. Rebound Lancers. Back over to Wilson.
Yeah, that was a nice little play for Ekrit. Get a wide open three. Probably one of the first wide open threes I've seen, but just couldn't connect.
Now Wilson dishes inside to Sullivan, puts it in, and gets the foul. I believe that's going to be on Juliet Laws, her third. Waiting for confirmation.
Unfortunate, we see the replay that all came off the offensive rebound by the freshman Mia Bucco. And then you got yourself a three-point play.
25-23 now. Lancers down by 2. Sullivan able to block that shot. No foul called. Lancers within 2 is Sullivan. Now Bucco to Ekrit. Ekrit dribbles, comes back out to Wilson. Ekrit again. Murray. Andy Zink tries to reach in. Now gets it to Sullivan. Finds a cutter underneath. This is Ekrit. She drives, puts up a runner, no good. Juliet Laws with the rebound for Bedford. Now Eva Zink in transition, puts it up too strong once again. Another miss for the Bulldogs.
A nice drive once again, just can't connect.
Sullivan cuts, turns, turnaround jumper is good, and we're all tied up. Bedford quickly in transition, Sarah Muir.
BCTV.
Now they slow down the Bulldogs defense. Here's Eva Zink in the corner. Pass across to Laws. And they're going to say a reach-in foul there, I believe, on
Murray. Looks like it's on Murray.
number 5. Third foul on Murray. Not a shooting foul, though. Inbound here for the Bulldogs. All tied up at 25 with 29 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Timeout called. Try to prevent that 5-second violation.
This is a big possession, right? Because they could take it down all the way, get that last shot, make sure they're going to the fourth quarter with at least a tie, if not up. So big possession.
Quick reminder, our next broadcast coming up Friday. BCTV will have this live at 7 o'clock, boys basketball against the Exeter Blue Hawks. Corey Munster Tiger will have the call for you. So just an amazing contest here. Very low scoring.
Very low scoring, and actually not a lot of turnovers. So just
A few.
like just
It came in bunches.
missed shots on both sides.
That's the amazing thing.
Good defense.
Bedford couldn't miss at all in the first quarter, and now they can't buy a bucket in the second. They've only scored 8 points since the first quarter.
Yep.
Muir tries to get it inside. Tipped away, but Eva Zink able to chase it down. 22 seconds to go here in the third. Annie Zink calls a play. Still dribbles. Zink over to Laws. Laws goes to the bucket, off the glass, too hard. And Muir tried to save it, instead wound up going out of bounds with 8.3 seconds to go.
Yep.
Every one of these layups looks exactly the same. Put up too hard, too strong on the glass. Time ticking down, 3 seconds to go. 2, 1. And right at the buzzer, Sullivan gives Lancers the lead.
Little update, Varsity Boys won 66-48 to win a Cunnet, so they keep undefeated. Looking like, definitely could be on pace for another at least state championship appearance this year.
They would definitely be a contender there. So in the so far in the third quarter, the only point scorer was Juliet Laws. 6 points in the third, 8 on the game. Sarah Muir missed 2 from the free throw line. She's got 7 points. Grace Wolf with 2. Annie Zink, 8 points, but totally shut out here in the second. For the Lancers, Allison DeNovo with 2. Gemma Murray with 2. Brooke Ekrit with 5. Brooke Wilson with 5. Samantha Sullivan finally waking up. She's got 11 points. And that is it for the scores for the Lancers.
I've got a correction, 66-58, not 48.
Okay, go closer.
Steve Chartier with the typo there, so.
And while we got a moment here, we're going to thank our underwriters for making these broadcasts possible on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. They include Primary Bank, Northeast Delta Dental, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and Murray's Tap Room and Carriage House Event Center. Thank you very much to our underwriters for making these broadcasts possible. So the Bulldogs trail for the first time, 27-25, with 8 minutes to fight their way back. Sullivan gets a lane, goes to the bucket, puts it in.
We see
13 points now.
We see how she scores, right? She's tough. She gets to the bucket, gets to the line.
Eva Zink puts it up, and she gets it. First points of the game for Eva Zink. Bulldogs respond. Still trailing by 2. Oh, and that's a carry. I mean, Gemma Murray tried to plead her case, but she lost control of the ball, and she kind of had it up against her back.
Yep. She thought she got fouled, but...
So turnover there. She tried to plead the case. Officials were not going to have any of that. Bulldogs try to tie it up or take the lead here. Laws drives to the bucket. Oh, that was really off. Hit the side of the backboard. And are we getting a foul here or a jump ball?
Jump ball.
Okay, so Bedford had the possession. I didn't see the thumbs, that's why I was confused.
You're right, it looked like he was calling a foul.
So inbound to Zink. Muir now. Drives the baseline, jumps back, does not get the roll. Out of bounds, it's going to stay with Bedford. Off the hands of a Lancer. Much to the frustration of Lancers coach John Doherty. So Zink again with the inbound. Finds Annie Zink. Here's Eva Zink. Tries to dribble into the key, now kicks it out to Muir. Muir out to Eva Zink. Kick out here to Annie Zink. Muir, Eva Zink, runner, good. So Eva Zink now ties the game up.
She's starting to go. That's 2 in a row for her.
All tied at 29 with 6:20 to play in regulation. Gemma Murray, being watched there by Grace Wolf, decides to take the 3. No good. Laws gets the rebound, but there's going to be a foul on that play on Mia Bucco. Reached behind her. So not a shooting foul. Bedford inbounds. Juliet Laws. 6 minutes to play here in regulation. All tied at 29. Bedford has a chance to get back into the lead. Laws drives, puts it up and good this time. 31-29.
Saw Sullivan came over for the block. She was a tad bit late. Laws put it right over her.
Juliet Laws with 10 points. And here's a turnover. Eva Zink taking that one away, going to the bucket. Too strong. Bedford with the rebound and draws a foul. Eva Zink gets hacked, trying to put that ball back up, and she's going to go to the foul line here. And the foul is on Brooke Wilson, her 3rd. Zink misses that one. She has not scored anything since the first half. Gets another try here. Gets that one. Annie Zink with 9 points. Bedford up by 3, 32-29. 5:30 to go. Gemma Murray. Inside to Sullivan. Eva Zink watching her. Sullivan keeps running the baseline, and the bucket is good, plus the and one, and you can see that Juliet Laws reached in, kind of hacked her on the way up. That's going to be foul number 4 on, no, they're going to say 2 fouls. Okay. I had her down for 3.
I agree, but.
This should have been her 4th foul. Foul, free throw, no good there by Sullivan. 32-31, Bedford still up. Now there's a drive. Zink goes to the bucket. She's going to get another chance at the free throw line. Waiting to see who that was called on. That was on Samantha Sullivan. Now she's got 3. I'm sorry, Sarah Muir was the fouled party. No, I'm sorry, it was Annie Zink. And she gets that positive roll. 33-31 now. Gets a good roll there too. 34-31. Bulldogs up by 3, under 5 to play.
Go to Sullivan.
Ekrit tries to get out of the double team. Dribbles to the other side. Here's a three-point try. Way off the mark by Bucco.
I mean, you see that Bedford's actually almost playing like a man zone because of the fact that Londonderry only has a couple scorers. They're actually double teaming, and they're giving wide open shots to girls, kind of daring them for someone else to beat them.
Laws gets the ball knocked out of her hand, but it will stay with the Bulldogs. Muir to inbound, gets it to Eva Zink. Top of the key, Zink drives against Sullivan. Gives it to Muir. Tried to dish it to Laws, but that's intercepted. Turnover Bedford. Quick throw to Bucco. Gets it back to Sullivan. Lancers with the ball here with 4:10 to play. Sullivan drops back, gets it to Wilson. That gets knocked away. Muir steals it away. Tries to get up to Annie Zink. Gets knocked out of bounds by Brooke Ekrit. Good defense.
Great defense. Bedford's getting a lot of steals now. They're pumping it up. As I said, they're switching their defense. A lot of double teams, getting those steals.
Timeout called by Coach John Doherty of the Lancers here with 4:01 to go in the game. Quick reminder, next broadcast is coming up on Friday. Boys basketball, the Exeter Blue Hawks come to Bedford High Gym, and that's going to be a 7 p.m. tip. And then looking further ahead, we've got girls ice hockey against the Bishop Girton Cardinals, and that's on Wednesday the 21st, 7:30 face-off from Sullivan Arena. And then looking further ahead, we've got a girls and boys basketball doubleheader. We're going to be carrying both games here on BCTV in Bedford 105.1 on the 27th. The ladies play the Wyndham Jaguars at 5:30, and then the boys play the Jags at 7. And that is what's coming up for you on BCTV, your station for Bulldog Sports.
And a reminder, you know, this is just part 1. February 20th, last game of the season. Bedford's at Londonderry. These two teams, they kind of did the schedule this year, so they're playing the stronger teams twice. So this is just kind of round 1, and then round 2 will be a little over a month.
Bulldogs are up by 3. Try to get to a 2-score lead here. Here's Sarah Muir. She's going to try 3 and gets it finally.
Huge 3. Huge 3. Puts Bedford up 6. They're going to try to get it.
Here's another 3 off the mark. Off the hands of... Oh, they're going to say off the hands of Wilson. I could have made an argument and went off a Bedford player, off a Wolf. Generous call there by the officials. So Bedford now up by 6, 37-31, 3:40 to go.
No shot clock here, so Bedford can take their time.
Here's Juliet Laws. Kicks it out to Muir. See how hot she is. Oh, and it just rims out.
Oh, yeah, that would have been huge.
That could have been a dagger. Long lead pass. That's off the hands of Ekrit. And Muir was in the way there too.
Yep.
I think he might have blocked her vision a little bit, caused her to miss that ball. So Bedford gets the ball on a turnover here with 3:15 to play.
Londonderry pressing for the first time.
6-point lead here. Bulldogs trying to press it to a 3-possession game. Laws still with the ball. Now Zink uses Laws as a screen. Goes down the far side. And they're going to call a contact foul there, I believe on number 5. It is going to be on Gemma Murray, her 4th.
No, I think that was Mia Bucco.
Oh, okay.
So the reason why that's important is now going forward, Bedford should be shooting 2. That was their 4th foul. So
right.
Now even a simple reach, they'll go to the line for 2.
Ball inbound to Eva Zink. Now to Laws. Laws drives. What do we get here?
There we go.
There's your 5th foul.
There we go.
Bulldogs in the bonus, the 2:49 to play.
Looks like Laws.
DeNovo with the call there. Her second.
Laws is typically an exceptional free throw shooter, so that's who you want. You know, you definitely want her on the line.
Laws has 10 points on the night. And she nails it.
I think that's. Oh, I think she's averaging about 10 to 11, so she's right there.
10.2 is her average. So every point now raises that average for her. And a perfect swish there. 12 points for Juliet Laws. Bulldogs are up 7. That's a 3-possession lead. 2:47 to go. Murray over the timeline. Being watched closely by Wolf. Now down low, it's DeNovo. To Wilson. Ekrit drives. Ekrit with the runner. Misses, but Londonderry gets the rebound, and Sullivan puts the putback up, and it's 39-33 Bedford. 2:17 to go in regulation. Laws, net by DeNovo. Still with it. Laws gets hit, no call. Eva Zink gets the ball. Now Annie Zink trying to pick up a screen, can't do that. Has to make a pass here, gets it to Eva. Now back to Laws, 1:54 to go. Laws takes contact, puts up a runner, no good. Ball is out of bounds. They're going to say off of Bedford. So the Lancers get the ball back here with 1:47 to play. They trail by 7.
I think it's key. Bedford only 1 foul. They got fouls to give. They can play ultra aggressive, go for steals.
Wilson into the corner for Ekrit. Thought about a 3, and Ava Zink lost control, lost balance, fell on top of her.
That's her 4th.
And that is, you're right, that is Zink's 4th.
Looks like they're going to keep her out.
At least according to our book. Hasn't been posted up there yet.
Yep.
No, there it is. Yep, 4 fouls.
I think they'll keep her out. Now she's on Sullivan still, so watch. They're going to get the ball to Sullivan and have her. They know she can't foul, so she'll drive.
Sullivan is just all over, trying to push her way in. Sullivan transitions and gets the bucket. Turns around, pivots on that foot, and gets another bucket. 39-35. Bedford up by 4. Laws drives to the bucket. She's going to get fouled. Coach Doherty wants to travel, but she got hit right in the midsection as she was going to the bucket, so it's a 2-shot foul either way. Laws tries to get the Bulldogs up a little bit more here. They lead by 4. And she hits that one.
As I said, great free throw shooter, clutch under pressure. That's who you want on the line.
40-35 Bedford. Perfect that time as well. 41-35 now with 1:14 to play.
I can't imagine it's not going to Sullivan. With Zink with 4 fouls on her.
They get it to DeNovo instead. It was underneath the basket all alone. DeNovo with her second bucket. She's got 4 points. It's now 41-37 Bedford with 1:02 to play. Now this is a situation Bedford, if they can inbound the ball, they can just run down the clock. They've got the bonus.
Yep.
Lancers, have no choice but to foul them.
And as I said,
they need 2 possessions.
The good thing about the Bedford team, they got 5 ball handlers. Now all 5 girls on the court can handle the ball. Pretty good free throw shooters too, so they can move the ball around, make sure they don't turn the ball over, work that clock down.
While we've got a moment, let's thank our underwriters one last time here in our broadcast. These people make our sports coverage possible on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. Primary Bank, Northeast Delta Dental, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate in New Hampshire, and Murphy's Tap Room and Carriage House Event Center. Thank you very much to our underwriters. 1:02 to go Bulldogs lead 41-37. They are in the bonus. There's no shot clock at NHIAA, so if they get the ball inbounds, they can just run out the clock or wait for a foul. And you can see right here, all the Lancers are in the backcourt trying to pressure this inbound play. They get inside the Zink. And they're going to say Zink locked the ball out of bounds, even though it was pretty significant contact there by Brooke Ekrit, but it's going to be Lancers' ball with 59.9 to go. Inbound to Sullivan. Dribbles. Now she finds a player all alone under the bucket. That was number 4, Van Avery.
Oh, they got a foul.
So that's going to be Alexis Van Avery with her first foul. And really, I believe that was her first shot, first minutes in the game.
She's actually, it's funny, she played in the JV game against my daughter and her team. Really good defender, and that's why I think they put her in is for defense.
Well, the Bulldogs forgot all about her. Here's the first free throw off the mark by Eva Zink. They could really need these points here. 50.9 to go. And Van Avery comes out of the game here. Could be a situational substitution. Eva Zink again for a second. This one's off again. But Bedford gets the rebound.
Huge rebound by Grace Wolf was fighting. Huge rebound.
Here's Sarah Muir. Gets it to Eva Zink. Now Laws will be fouled by Gemma Murray, and that I believe is her 4th foul.
Yeah, it's I don't know. If I'm Londonderry, I don't wait until Julia Laws gets the ball and then foul. She should hit 4 straight free throws.
Yes.
And 4 straight swishes.
And she's 5 for 6
so
on the night. So Laws with a chance for 2 here. You jinxed her. This is the first one. Second free throw coming up here for Laws. That one rims out. But Bedford with the rebound, they're going to say jump ball, and it's going to go toward the Lancers.
Still now Bedford has the ball, has the arrow in their favor.
Right. So 36.5 to go, and Bedford's going to return the favor here and press them in the backcourt. Inbounds to Sullivan. Over the timeline, 30 seconds. Sullivan into the corner. Here's Bucco for 3, no good. Sullivan gets the rebound. Drives, pivots, and she's going to be fouled, I believe, by Grace Wolf. Or is that Eva Zink?
Oh, they gave it to Wolf.
Okay, so Wolf, that avoids the foul out there by Eva Zink, but it does put Sullivan on the line.
Another great box out. Grace Wolf got that jump ball.
17 points now for Sullivan. Make that 18. 3-point game, 41-38. Bulldogs up. No good. Wolf with the rebound, and jump ball, go to Bedford. So an inbound play here with 19.4. Everybody's in the backcourt. Coach Gibbs decides to call a timeout, get some strategy going here.
Yep.
Bulldogs with a 3-point lead, 1 possession. If they can get points on this one, they could pretty much salt the game away.
Yeah, that missed free throw is clutch, because now they could run the clock, they get to the line, all they need to do is make 1. And that, to your point, that's probably it. You know, Bulldogs have to feel good about their defense this game, just how hard they've made it. I know Sullivan is probably going to get close to her average, but they've made her work.
Well, she is now. Yeah, she has 18 points on the night, and she has 7 points alone in this quarter. In fact, her and Allison DeNovo are the only scorers in this quarter. So everything has been going through Samantha Sullivan, their workhorse. Meanwhile, Juliet Laws has been huge herself at the free throw line. She's got 6 points in this fourth quarter alone. 14 points on the game. So Bulldogs with 19.4 seconds and a 3-point lead try to inbound the ball here with the Lancers pressing. They get it into Annie Zink. She's fouled immediately by Brooke Ekrit. That's 3 on her. Only a second and change ticking off, 18 on the clock exactly.
Bedford has 1 foul to give too, so, you know, they definitely could kill some time off the clock.
1 or 2, because they're showing 3 on the scoreboard.
So 1, they give 1,
oh,
then they
okay.
have 4, and then
right.
the second one's going to be shooting. So they got 1 to give.
Zink misses the first one. 2 for 4 on the night. But one point here could make it a 2-possession game. No good. They tie up, jump ball, and I believe that goes to Bedford.
No, it should be
Londonderry. No, Coach Gibbs saying that the arrow hadn't been changed. I think he's got a point because the Lancers got the last jump ball.
I'm pretty sure right before the timeout there was a jump ball on that baseline. On
right. Okay. You're right.
Because I remember thinking.
You're right.
Hopefully. You
are correct. Okay. So here we are. Bulldogs failed to get a point on that possession. They still lead by 3. 16.7 to go. Lancers have not exactly been hitting the threes. I'm looking at the score sheet right now. And I don't believe they have a single 3.
I don't remember a 3.
Yeah. No, they have not made one. They took a few. They haven't made one. Bulldogs, however, made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them on the night.
Yeah, and I don't have the stats, but my guess is I bet Londonderry hits as many, if not more, 3s than Bedford. I know Ekrit is a great 3-point shooter. Murray's a great 3-point shooter. Even Sullivan, you know, right now it's hard with Zink on her, but she can definitely, you know, light it up from outside.
You're watching Bedford girls basketball on BCTV and listening to Bedford 105.1 WBNHLP Bedford. Great game. We expected a good one, and we got one here. Pretty low-scoring affair. Real defensive battle.
So yeah, watch 12 and 5. Those are your 3-point shooters.
Inbound to Murray. She's driving. Had the ball knocked out of her hand, but it goes right back to the Lancers into the corner now. Here's Ekrit for 3. No good. 7 seconds. Here's Murray with the 3. No good. Rebound Bedford. Foul is called with 1.8 seconds left.
That one free throw here, game over. Sarah Muir, another great free throw shooter. Definitely ice water in her veins, clutch.
What a sequence right there. Lancers going for 3-pointers twice, both of them off the mark.
They got pretty good looks, actually, from the shooters they wanted.
Now Muir from the foul line gets it, and that is going to ice the game.
Yep, and Gibbs brings everyone back. No foul, and that's going to be it.
Second one is good from Muir, who finishes the night with 12 points. There's your final, 43-38. Let's recap the scoring quickly. Annie Zink with 10 points. Grace Wolf with 2. Sarah Muir with 12, including those 2 big free throws at the end. Eva Zink with 4. Juliet Laws with 14. Those are your Bedford scorers. Now for the Lancers, 4 points for Allison DeNovo. Gemma Murray, just 2 points. Really, she's one of their big scorers, and she just got, couldn't hit anything today. Brooke Ekrit with 5. Brooke Wilson with 5. Samantha Sullivan, their big scorer, she ends up with 18 points. That's a little bit under her average.
You mentioned Ekrit and Murray. They're averaging probably about 30 between the two.
Yes.
They had 7 today.
So Mike Topp, thank you for joining me on this broadcast. Did a terrific job. You really know your stuff. Bill Jennings shooting the game on the camera. Andrew Fenn with the replays and whatnot back in the studio. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to our underwriters. And don't forget, our next broadcast will be on BCTV on Friday, 7 o'clock. It's boys basketball against the Exeter Blue Hawks. So on behalf of Mike Topp and the crew, I'm Harry Kozlowski. So long, everybody.